Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. Today I have my co-host, Barbara, here with me. Are you there, Barbara?
Oh, God, no. Oh, no.
What?
No.
Are you there, Barbara?
Yes. Oh, hi, I'm here.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So,
Have we started?
Yeah, we started about a minute ago. We did.
Hi, everybody. I was running back to get on my microphone because I had to sign my lease, and I said, please have it ready because I got to get to my show on time, but that's why I'm a little out of breath. So
Right.
That's where I was.
And today we agreed on an interesting topic. We agreed that we'd be talking about what marriage is. And you and I agreed that we would have a lot to talk about.
I think we will have enough to fill up our 30-minute time.
Yeah, 30
frame.
minutes. Yeah.
Well, the reason I thought about this topic was because of the holidays. And I was looking through some old photos and just remembering like 10, 15 years ago what life was like. About 10 years ago I was married, and how sad I still get about the failed marriage. And I don't think a lot of people realize that I even feel that way. I mean, why would they? But it's just sad when a marriage doesn't work out because obviously right after, you're so happy. You're excited, and I mean, it's just blissful. And when that whole thing doesn't work out, I had a small child, and my husband, who I married, he loved her because my child's father was killed when she was only 2 in a car accident, tragically. So I found, I'm not going to say was a wonderful person. He's a wonderful person, always was kind, but it didn't work out. And I was just really sad because I saw a Christmas party we had, and little Priscilla, my daughter, was about 3, and the whole family was around, and he was there, and how much he just loved her. And my life would have been easier, I know that, if that would have worked out. He became one of those flat earth people. I didn't even know what that was. And anyway, I even gave it another go with that person. I got it annulled because it really, 8 years later, I remarried that person. And then I was just more mature, so I really could see all the problems clearly, and that I did not want to be in that union. It's just difficult because there's a wall that's put up when somebody is into conspiracy theories, and if there is a wall that big and you're not seeing eye to eye, and it's coming up all the time throughout the day, different subjects and their thoughts on it, well, it's just an empty feeling. It's just a non-connected feeling with your partner, and I just felt like I couldn't live like that. It could be embarrassing too, and I loved his family. I just was thinking how wonderful that was to have, after the marriage, such a big family that was amazing. And we always did so many fun things together. One time, his dad took 25 people to the French Riviera. We stayed at the 5-star beautiful hotel there. And so it was one of those kinds of things where it was just very big, happy, well-to-do family that loved me, absolutely loved me. And then when we got back together, they were so happy. It just didn't work out. I mean, it was only 5 months. And the first marriage with him, I wasn't really sure about the conspiracy theories. And that really wasn't my whole reason. I don't know. I'm not going to get into all of the details. There's never just one reason. But all those years alone and doing it alone and then getting engaged to another person and then that person really doing me wrong, it made me go backwards. It made me go back to him. And we did a shotgun marriage because I literally thought that I knew what I was getting into. But it had gotten way worse, the thoughts, and it just was so strange when somebody doesn't even believe in the Holocaust and their whole family is Jewish. That's when it gets embarrassing because I feel bad for the family. They're getting so offended. And these types of people, they rarely can keep quiet about their thoughts and how they feel about the world. So it's just so sad, and I often think back about what I could have done differently, but then I've already been through that. I already thought, oh, I could have done this differently. I could have been more of a supportive wife. I mean, I did make those vows, so that's why I gave it another try. And now I realize it's just never going to work. Although I still have those thoughts that how nice that was. And so I was really thinking, what was it that I was so drawn to with this one person? Well, this person loved me more than anything. They put me on a pedestal. And that to me is a great feeling. Some people don't like that, but I personally loved that. And hopefully I can find another person that is like him in that way someday. I love being alone, but not completely alone. As far as a partner, a man, I like a lot of alone time. I'm not going around all lonely, everybody, but it's just nice to be able to share things, vacations, and cook for somebody. And I am a very nurturing person, so I feel like there's a void there. And the holidays are coming up, and sometimes those voids seem bigger and they feel deeper than other times. Do you have anything like that going on in your life?
I mean, you feel like that, you see other members of your family getting married, and then you, like, for example, my cousin, she got married, and then, not only does my cousin get married, but her daughter is now recently got married. So it's like you feel like, wait a minute, you're running behind everyone.
Yes.
I mean, it's sort of like this isn't. I don't know if you ever feel like that. I mean, do you ever, like, if your friends get married, you think, wait a minute, am I supposed to?
Yes, I did before I got married, but now that I have been married and got divorced, I feel like I can say, hey, everybody, I'm normal now. I'm really normal because I got a divorce. unfortunately, that is the norm. But I understand because I didn't even get married the first time until I was 40. So I was feeling that quite often. Everybody was getting married around me. And then I was wondering if it was ever going to happen for me. And it was just wonderful at first, though, because it was just, I got swept off my feet. And it was like a dream type of existence. So that is even more sad. But don't worry about it, Johnny, because a lot of men, they get married later in life, and
Right.
there's time for you. But do you feel like you are getting out there enough? Are you going on enough dates? Are you communicating with enough women?
I'm on enough dating sites, but
you are.
But I think that I'm on guard more for the fakes, because like a lot of times what they'll do is they'll ask for your phone number, but then when they talk to you on the phone, that you don't hear anything, you won't be able to hear you. So they always go, "Well, I can't hear you. I can't hear you." Is what happens when they call you. And
are they calling you first, or are they calling you back?
It's either it doesn't matter, but what they do is that you call the number, and then you won't be able to hear anything the other person says. Now, if this happened once, I would understand, but for it to happen every time is an indication that something is not right. Something is being faked.
Well, hold on, though. How could every woman you talk to have the same excuse to not talk to you?
Exactly.
Acting like they can't hear you. So maybe
Exactly.
it is a technical issue.
It's not. That's why it's not a technical issue, because it's every woman saying it. There's not that
and that
many.
is a technical issue, though. How could every single woman you talk to have the excuse, "Oh, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Hello,
Right.
I can't hear you." How could they have that excuse, the same one?
Exactly, they can't.
Right. So is it a technical issue?
No, it's not. They're coming up with excuses so that you don't have to hear their voice.
I don't know what this site is. Could you say it again?
Well, it's all the sites. I mean, it's not just a dating site. I mean, it spans. Like, I mean, if you go on Tinder, if you go on Bumble, it doesn't matter what the site is. I mean, what they do is that they make some excuse not to talk to you on the phone. And
like what?
Oh God, I mean, just like, can we text instead?
But how are you going to ever get a relationship if you don't actually meet them?
No, exactly.
So what is this for, though? Why do they want to text so much when they're on it too to meet people?
Right. The reason they do that is that if they call you on the phone, you have to hear the voice. And but once you hear the voice, it's harder to scam. But see, the thing is that what these people do is they make every other excuse in the world not to have you call them,
Why? Are they asking for money?
Nobody's asked me. Well, one person asked me for money, which I didn't give. But what they do is they usually give the old "I'm out of the country" excuse, or they'll say they're from, they say they're in South America or something, and even though their profile will say clearly that they're in the United States, they'll say they're out of the country. And also what happens is on Facebook, people will steal profiles. And what they will do is they will pretend to be somebody else. Like, they could probably pretend to be you. They could just, and then say a bunch of stuff like, I had that happen to me yesterday. It was a lady pretending to be a woman that had gotten a divorce from her husband because he cheated on her, because it's true. The lady was actually married. And it's I have to be on guard all the time with these It's almost what I can't figure out is why it happens so much. You would think that they would know that other people were seeing this. I mean, it's like it's almost a joke. You understand what I'm
I don't
saying?
know. No, I don't understand. Other people are seeing what?
What I'm trying to say, Barbara, is that if every single person sees the same old thing of a woman pretending to be, from the United States, but she's actually over in Venezuela somewhere, in talking to you, they're pretending to be somebody else, not wanting to get on a phone where I could hear your voice, you know.
So they are a man and they're trying to play with you, like as in catfish you?
Yeah, it's catfishing because they always tend to make up a story that doesn't have. And like I was talking to this lady one time, this one woman, and what was so funny is that she was on Instagram doing a live at the same time I was talking to her, or supposedly was talking to her. So in other words, there's no way that she could have been talking to me because she was online. You understand what I'm saying? It would be like right now, somebody, saying, "Well, I was on the phone. I'm talking to you on Facebook between the hours of 7 and 7:30." Well, that would be impossible because you'd be here, right? And it would be. That's what I mean by pretending.
Well, that's why I asked you if they're asking for money, because what's the point of these people doing this if they're not going to get anything out of it?
What it is I stop them before they get to it. I think a lot of people who are going to be nicer about it will go along with the texting. And what I've seen is the people who fall for this, what they do is they just keep texting, and then you'll talk to them when they talk about these people they run into, and I'll say, "Well, did you ever get them on the phone?" No. Well, see, that's kind of a point, I mean, you can't get this person on the phone, so,
Well, Johnny,
yeah.
okay. Well, this is a problem with the app you are using, and I don't think it's working for you. You might just not even do it anymore. It's not going anywhere. And aren't those sites expensive?
No, they're not. But not all. I mean, I think that what I have been doing though is there's something called a verified profile, which means that the person used their driver's license to verify it. So I started looking for verified profiles.
How many are there?
Not as many as there are that are unverified, but it's there are more. It's just that when there's so many people that honestly will do everything under the sun except talk to you on the phone, it's hard to take anything seriously.
Slow moving.
Well, yeah, like
moving really slowly. To get a wife, it sounds like it's going to take years with these apps.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is that I know I don't want to sound insensitive, but like, for example, whenever I think of asking somebody to come on the show, not necessarily romance, I always take it more seriously when I get them on the phone, as opposed to on a text message. Because if you go the round of the text message, it just seems. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? I mean, don't you take it a little more seriously?
Well, a lot of people in the entertainment business do not wish to even talk on the phone, and because they think, why should I? Can get all the information I need with an email or a text. And they're busy. They don't want to spend time on the phone. That is not abnormal. But I understand you would take it more seriously if you did talk to them on the phone. But then you're going to get women who think that you're just wanting to talk to them and not serious. But I think we're doing fine with getting guests. You're doing a great job.
No. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I was saying that I just sort of, I mean, when you talk to a man, that could be a possible date. Don't you take it more seriously when you get the guy on the phone?
No, I'm fine with a text, but they probably don't understand why I don't want to get on the phone. But I'm an introvert. I've just realized that I am, and that is why I don't like the phone at all. I am in person or text. The phone, it drains me.
Okay, I get that, but you do want to ideally meet the person in person, right?
Yes, I do the text, and then I meet them that way. And then I have said many times, hey, I really don't like phone calls. Can we just meet? And they're fine with it, and they schedule it right away. But it's only been a couple of people referred by friends. I'm not on any dating apps, so I cannot relate to you that way. And I would be leery of that because I'm thinking that the people would just abuse that situation and want to just do a physical thing with me. So I just rely on my own self, and so maybe you should try that more. But you've got to get out to a social place, though. And I don't know if you ever do much social things. Like where would you meet somebody in your daily life?
Well, there is meetup social places called Meetup for people that have social groups for various interests.
I've heard that. I've heard of that.
Yeah, I've thought about that because then you're in a room with real people.
Yeah, do that.
You're not in a room with 20 people that can pretend to be something, and it's kind of like, it's hard to bond with somebody that is just gonna hold up their guard. I mean,
well, what would you do if you had somebody like me who texted you and said, hey, I'm available for lunch tomorrow. Can we meet? Would you be excited? Would you be okay? Or would you have to talk to them on the phone?
I think if it was a place, if we were to meet in a place like within walking distance, then I guess it could be okay with a text. But I'm not going to go out 30 minutes somewhere to meet someone whose voice I haven't heard, because it opens up the door to hiding. I do agree that ideally, obviously, I think what it is this is the middle ground that you and I can meet. I think you'd be suspicious if the guy did nothing but text and didn't ever want to meet. Okay? Then I think you would be like, what's going on?
If it was more than a few days and it was just texting back and forth, that's not happening in my life, though. I am sorry that you are having difficulty with meeting the right lady for you. But say you did meet her, what are your plans? Would you like if you really fell in love?
Yeah, I would love to get married. Oh,
would
yeah, I would love to.
Would you stay living there on the beach, or let her choose where she wants to live? Would you move?
Yeah, it would depend on the woman, to be honest with you. But I think that it would be, it would depend on the situation. I think that I always told myself that I probably would love the beach more if I had someone to share it with,
I said, it is nice to share with somebody. life's great moments. Well, so the holidays, does this make you more aware of your situation of being single then? Because all the whole family's there with their partners?
And everyone's married, so it's always hard when everybody has something that you don't have,
Does your family all know that you want to get married?
I think they know. But I very rarely discuss my romantic life with them because a lot of times their questions get very personal and intrusive. I'm okay with my father, though, but...
I wonder if some of them, if they knew more of your feelings, that they would be on the lookout for the right lady.
Well, the problem is that they give advice all the time. And
like what? Give us details of... Like what?
No, here's the thing. My sister Cassie has never been married, and she's only had one serious relationship. So her concept about how to talk to men is just zero. She doesn't know how to talk to a guy. So the advice she gives on how to talk to the woman is just nonsense.
That's your sister, and you just said everybody was married, and they're not. She's not married.
Well, everybody except Cassie. Cassie is the one that isn't. And then the others, I think, they get a little intrusive, like when they ask questions about dating, and it's like, I don't want to talk about this,
Well, you're talking on air to 80,000 people.
Right. That's true. But,
it's kind of funny how our own families sometimes don't even listen or tune in. It's kind of funny. How do you feel about that?
Well,
you're probably okay with it.
Yeah, I think it's because family interacts with you different than romance.
No, I'm saying the show. They don't tune into the show much.
Oh, they don't. No, they don't. My family wouldn't. I mean, as you know, my sisters have been on the show before. My mom would never come on.
Is she shy?
Yeah, she's shy. Now, your father's been on before, right?
He was on his birthday. He was just here. Once he does get the microphone handed to him, he will enjoy it. But to get him to come on as a guest, that's harder. Some people are just like that, and it's fine. He enjoyed it. He talked. We were on the topic of teacher predators, remember? And he did give his thoughts. And, but they don't tune in. I like it, though, when friends call and say, oh, I listened to your show. That was great. Like Ray does. We had him on. He's a big music producer, and he tunes in quite often.
Yeah. Well, it's, I think our time's up, but...
Oh, wait, our time is up? Oh.
Yes.
Well,
do I do the shout-out?
Guess what? Yes. Okay. So much for the holidays, feeling a little empty, some voids in our lives. But let's just trust in God and leave it to Him. And if we do so, He'll just put the right person in our lives. I'm sure about it. So thank you very much. If you have any comments, please visit our Facebook, Life, Laughter, Happiness Radio Show, and drop us a line there. Make sure you do follow our Blog Talk Radio profile as well, because you will then get regular updates. But I usually do a show with you every Tuesday, and then we're on every Friday with our psychic Dale Shear, which is enjoyable. All right. Well, I hope that you all enjoyed it. And if you're alone this holiday, Thanksgiving, and this Christmas, don't be down. You're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
Have a great night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.